So we are looking at a game between Spassky and Tal. Tal won this game in almost like a miniature, and it's absolutely amazing how he could play through this, and the complexity that he throws in his games is yeah, it's stunning. So we go through the opening moves rather quickly as usual. In this position, yeah, so white goes for the C file, black goes for the D file with its rook. Looks reasonable equal. Tal plays c5, creating a tension square, tension center perhaps, not true center, but yeah, a very common tension that you see when you play the Queen's Gambit declined, and also an equal pawn structure. It is actually Spassky who breaks the tension here, with c takes d5, and after e takes, c takes, b takes. Black actually has two okay pawns in the center, and it's actually very amazing for me to see how the transition of this game went from where we are here, the 100% equal position. You know, you have the knights are equal, the white bishops are aiming at the black side, the black bishops are aiming at the white king side. Yeah, the key difference would be that white has the c file and black plays on the d file. But it transitions into like a beautiful game for black. Yeah, white plays queen c3 here, pinning the knight obviously, and after rook f to e8, rook f to d1. Now we have the astonishing move d4. That makes total sense, breaking open the center, breaking open the white position, I should say, with the pawn push. And the beauty of it is there's so much behind this. So let's look at a few things. E takes d4, c takes d4, and now we cannot take with queen. Queen takes d4 simply doesn't work. So why is that? Well, we have now the move knight to c5, and a very clear threat that we have here is bishop takes h2 check, and after that the queen will fall. So we need to consider that, and well, let's try. So we played g3, but now we play knight takes d3, and after queen takes, we still play bishop takes g3. And the interesting thing is now, let's say white plays queen to e3. Well, mere mortals would be happy to retrieve their bishop and be happy with the advantage they have gotten, and just play bishop d6. However, since I'm analyzing Tal, it is very likely that Tal would leave his bishop en prise and play something else, like a knight to g5, or let's go a bit deeper into the other line, queen to b4. If you play queen to b4, then we have queen takes a7, and after rook takes d2, rook takes d2, queen to e4 is just menacing. It's extremely annoying. We are attacking the knight, pinning the knight. If it moves, you have checkmate on g2 and on h1. So yeah, potential continuation might be like rook d3, or perhaps rook c3, but all of it gives good potential for black. It's there are too many versions to go through, but it's a very, very strong attack that black has here. And if you don't play g3, right, so we still take with the queen, we still do queen takes d4, but now let's say we try something else after knight to c5, and we go with the counterattack, rook to e1. Well, now we have knight takes d3 still, because after rook takes e7, bishop takes e7, yes, bishop takes e7, queen takes e7, bishop takes f3, g takes f3, knight takes b2, boom. And this is a kind of play that you would see from Tal as well. So we have three pieces, the rook, and two minor pieces for the queen, and two pawns. White king is also a bit open. We don't have the black queen anymore, but we can clearly launch an attack or use to the advantage that the white king is open, and the white pawns, although they're connected past pawns, they're not so far down the board. So this would absolutely make black happy, especially if black is Tal. So that will be a different try. So from that perspective, we don't take with the queen. So let's take with the knight. And if you're running a strong engine, then it might be fine with taking with the knight, but it does give lots of complications. Threats here are knight to d5, perhaps bishop takes, bishop to e5, pinning the knight, queen to e5, threatening checkmate, and a follow-up queen move to h5. And we need to calculate and look at them all. Let's try one. Let's try just knight to d5. So if knight d5, then queen c2, right? You want to move out of the attack. And now after the queen c2, there are just so many things for black to do again. We can now or in the future move knight to b4, which also is removes it from the bishop file, which might be a discovered attack. We can move the knight to e5. We can use the queen on g5 or an h4 to attack. We always need to consider the sacrifice on h2. So there's far too much going on here, far too complex to counter. Also, bishop f4 might be something you might want to look into, but very simply said, you really don't want to play this against Tal, and not in general. It's heavily complex. So after c takes d4, Spassky decided to move queen to a5. After queen a5, we have knight e5, and yeah, you can start thinking now, right? So how did this happen? How did we suddenly come under so much pressure? Now I have to admit, Spassky didn't play the best tournament, but still, it's Spassky, so it should not be a pushover. Knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, knight to c4, and now knight to g4 would be also devastating. So after knight to g4, the idea is that after knight takes, we need to go back to f1 to defend g2. But now we still play knight to f3, boom. I mean, what do you want to do? If you ignoring is not an option, right? Because we have queen to h4, and then the attack on h2 is even more serious. So what if we take? If g takes f3, now rook to d5, threatening to go to g5 and threatening to win the queen. And there's no proper defense against this. If we counterattack with rook to e1, then we have the simple rook to g5 check. And what do you want to do? If you make the mistake of moving your king, you even have mate, because we get check, bishop check, king to gd check. Well, needs to take check and checkmate. And if we don't move the king, right? So we move bishop to g2. Well, then we can just take still the queen. And after rook takes, we have rook takes, and this is enough to win. And after the move rook to d5, there really is no proper way of defending this, so it would be over. Black actually played a rook to d5 instantly, and after rook to d5, what was played is queen to d2. Actually very funny, when I was analyzing this, the engine suggested, oh, queen d2 is a blunder, let's try queen to a3. Well, queen to a3 loses with the exact same move than queen to d2, so it actually doesn't work. You need to run your engine a bit longer, or have a stronger CPU, I guess. So bishop takes h2, boom, and it's over. It really is over. It's absolutely beautiful. So king f1 would keep on fighting a bit longer, but it's too late. And if you take king takes h2, we get check, and king g1, and after knight to g4, it was here that Spassky resigned. And Spassky resigns because he cannot stop the mating attack. It's really not possible. So it's actually very funny. If you go back a few moves, if you play against Tal and you see him play bishop takes h2 check, you kind of know you are effed. It's over. It's not a move you want to see play if you play against Tal. And yeah, it did happen. You might as well take it and go down in glory, or go down with a full stomach, however you want to say. So king g1, knight to g4, reassigned. I'll show you the mating sequence. So let's say we try to defend here with bishop to e4, just to give an option. Then queen to h4 will come, and let's walk away. We can prolong the mate with a couple of checks. Sacrifice our bishop on h7 with check. whatever you can do to prolong it, but it doesn't do really anything. So king f1, and after king f1, black has d3, taking away the e2 square, and now queen to h1, threats checkmate. You cannot take with the queen on d2, because then we give checkmate on f2. If you take with the bishop on e4, we still give checkmate on h1 because we have a rook on e8. So there's really nothing. g3 is an attempt, but after g3, boom, queen sacrifice. Why not? Bishop takes h1 and rook takes h1. Absolutely stunning game from Tal, and he won in 22 moves against Spassky. Don't think many people can say that they won 22 moves against Spassky, let alone 22 moves. Yeah, if you can say that you won against Spassky, is already quite an accomplishment, but got pushed away in 22 moves. So, okay, so I hope you enjoyed this game. Let me know if you want to see any other games from Tal or any other Grandmaster from the past, and I'll be happy to look into it. For now, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and see you in future videos. Bye bye.